President Trump announced Monday evening that arrangements are underway for a direct meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, marking the first potential talks between the two leaders since Russia's invasion began nearly 3.5 years ago. The announcement followed high-stakes meetings at the White House with Zelensky and 7 European leaders. Trump made the revelation on Truth Social after calling Putin to brief him on the day's discussions. At the conclusion of the meetings, I called President Putin and began the arrangements for a meeting at a location to be determined between President Putin and President Zelensky, Trump wrote. The bilateral meeting would then be followed by a trilateral summit, including Trump himself. The White House meeting brought together a coalition of European leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte. Their presence represented what analysts described as both a protective measure for Zelensky and an attempt to influence Trump's approach to Ukraine. The atmosphere marked a dramatic shift from Trump and Zelensky's contentious February encounter. Zelensky arrived wearing a black suit rather than his typical military attire and repeatedly thanked Trump, while the US president complimented the Ukrainian leader's appearance. This was truly a significant step toward ending the war, Zelensky said afterward. Central to Monday's discussions were security guarantees for Ukraine, with Trump announcing that Putin had agreed to allow Western nations to provide such assurances. President Putin agreed that Russia would accept security guarantees for Ukraine, Trump stated, adding that these would be provided by the various European countries, with a coordination with the United States of America. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff had revealed Sunday that Putin agreed to Article 5-like protection, referring to NATO's collective defense clause, calling it game-changing. However, Russia's foreign ministry quickly rejected any scenario involving NATO troops in Ukraine, warning it could lead to uncontrollable escalation. Multiple venues are being considered for the potential Putin-Zelensky meeting. French President Macron advocated for Geneva, emphasizing the need for neutral territory, while reports suggest Hungary has emerged as a strong contender. Italian Prime Minister Meloni proposed Rome, with some sources indicating Trump and Zelensky favor the Vatican as a venue. The timing remains fluid, with German Chancellor Merz suggesting the meeting could occur within 2 weeks. However, as Time reported, Putin's response to Trump's proposal appeared lukewarm, with the Kremlin issuing only vague statements about exploring the possibility of raising the level of representatives in peace talks.